Allez, Carlo.
Veterans, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Guy Turpin, Senior Manager, Commemorative Sites, and I will be your Master of Ceremony today. Nous sommes rassemblés aujourd'hui au Mémorial national du Canada à Vimy lors de cette cérémonie de commémoration du 97e anniversaire de la bataille d'Arras et de la prise de la crête de Vimy. Pour rendre hommage aux anciens combattants et pour honorer la mémoire de ceux qui ont consenti le sacrifice ultime. We are gathered here today at the Canadian National Vimy Memorial during the 97th anniversary of the Battle of Arras and the capture of Vimy Ridge commemoration ceremony. To recognize the achievements of our veterans and to honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. J'invite à ce temps l'honorable Julian Fantino, ministre des Anciens Combattants, à venir nous adresser la parole. The Honorable Julian Fantino, Minister of Veterans Affairs, will now say a few words.
Merci, and to everyone here, welcome. It's indeed a great honor for me to be here to represent the people of Canada, the Government of Canada, along with my colleagues from the government and our ambassador who is present with us here today. What I wanted to say very briefly is approaching the memorial for me the first time, having read and listened to the stories about this hallowed place, this very sacred ground, the sacrifice made by so many of our young Canadian men, the significance of this monument, and the shared values that we, I think, can say are akin to those of France, and how we live in a society today in peace and harmony, respect for the rule of law, democracy, respect for human rights. All of that is a credit that goes directly to the people who spilled blood on this very sacred ground. I believe as Canadians, at least, we can say for sure that the great quality of life that we enjoy in our country, the freedom that is enjoyed throughout the world in most places, the kinds of shared values that the Canadians have attached themselves to and hugely respect, is the result of these sacrifices. Sacrifices that we can never take for granted. And it's indeed a great honor, a privilege, and a very humbling experience to be with you today to pay tribute to those very fine people who in fact made the ultimate sacrifice. It is truly remarkable to think that some 100,000 Canadian soldiers accomplished so much and paid such a huge price. It was 97 years ago today, in the early morning hours of a cold and wet Easter Monday, that all four divisions of the Canadian Corps fought as one for the first time and captured the strategic ridge. In the snow and driving wind, they marched with remarkable resolve and military precision to claim their 7-kilometer stretch of Vimy Ridge. By mid-afternoon that first day, the Canadian divisions had nearly accomplished their objective. They would capture this hill, Hill 145, the highest point of Vimy Ridge, the following day, and they would complete their mission with their taking of the Pimple on the fourth day. Canadians displayed such extraordinary courage here that four of them earned the Victoria Cross. And the key architect of the Canadian success, Major General Arthur Currie, would be awarded knighthood. Dear friends, this stunning victory still overwhelms many of us, not just because it was the most impressive Allied offensive success to that point of the First World War, but because we still feel Canada's coming of age. And that's why we have returned here as one. Our two nations, shared history, our enduring bonds were confirmed here by the Battle of Vimy Ridge. The scars of war, still visible in the pockmarked land around us, remind us of the terrible bloodshed and the great human tragedy that played out here. Over 4 days that followed what is supposed to be the most holy time on the Christian calendar. More than 7,000 Canadians were wounded on Vimy Ridge, and approximately 3,600 young men lost their lives here, so far from their homes and those who loved them so dearly. The price we paid for freedom is also forever etched here. To the magnificent Canadian National Vimy Memorial that bears the names of 11,285 Canadian soldiers who fell on French soil during the First World War, and whose final resting place is only known to God. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends all, I do share a very, very sincere thank you. I must again emphasize just how humbled one is to be in this place at this time to commemorate the brave sacrifice of our young Canadian men and why it is that they fought and died for very noble causes. Thank you so much for being with us.
Retired Chief Warrant Officer Guy Parent, the Veterans Ombudsman, on behalf of the Canadian veterans. Capitaine de vaisseau Randy Caspic, représentant militaire national du Canada à Chypre, au nom des Forces armées canadiennes, accompagné par l'adjudant-chef Michel Bouchard. Captain Navy Randy Caspic, Canadian National Military Representative at Chypre, on behalf of the Canadian Armed Forces, accompanied by Chief Warrant Officer Michel Bouchard.
Leave your wife for a sweetheart behind. In that faithful heart is your memory enshrined. And although you died way back in 1916, in that loyal heart are you forever 19? Or are you a stranger without even a name, forever enshrined behind some glass
Together, ensemble, le colonel Chris Horneman, representing the Defense Attaché, Embassy of the United Kingdom in France, on behalf of the British Defense Staff, France. Major Steve Ward, representing the Defense Attaché, Embassy of Australia in France, on behalf of the Australian Defense Staff in France. And Lieutenant Colonel Frank Fisher, representing the Defense Attaché, Embassy in Germany in France, on behalf of the German Defense Staff in France.
They beat the drum slowly. They play the pipe slowly. The rifles fire o'er you as they lower you down. Did the band play the last post and chorus? Did the pipe play the flowers of the forest? The sun, it still shines on these green fields of grass. The warm summer breeze makes the red poppies dance. But look how the sun shines from under the clouds. There's no gas, no barbed wire, there's no guns firing now. Contre nous de la tyrannie, l'étendard sanglant élevé, l'étendard sanglant élevé. Entendez-nous dans nos campagnes, rugir ces féroces soldats. Ils viennent jusque dans nos bras, égorger nos fils et nos